The Eater of Worlds has a really nasty one-shot, as you can see, but it is completely avoidable. In this one, I'll show you how the fight works and how to escape the Inescapable Doom. Hello Exile, you're watching Altek2k Gaming. When we first start to fight, you'll notice some small tentacles come out of the ground. These are completely avoidable, just sidestep the area they're in. When he says the words hunger, you'll see a shield rise around him. Get away from this area as quickly as possible. This is where he's going to slam. This is very localized, so not really a problem to avoid. When he says writhing mass, large tentacles will shoot from the ground. These can slam and do a reasonable amount of damage, but they're not normally enough to one-shot you. By this point you should notice some large pulsating spheres moving around the arena. These leave a trail behind them. As the fight goes on, this trail gets larger. Avoid standing in the trail and definitely avoid the spheres. Stand in either for too long and you'll notice a vignette move around the outside of the screen like an eye. The slit for the eye gets narrower and narrower until you can't see much of the arena. Once the eye completely closes, you will die. The only way to avoid this is to get out of the sphere or the trail as quickly as possible. When he says something that sounds remarkably like fish, he's about to shoot you with a lightning bolt directly in front of him. Sidestepping this will avoid the damage and also the shock that it would apply to you. Having shock immunity in this fight is very useful. When he says Inescapable Doom, this is the most dangerous part of the fight. He's now channeling a beam that gets stronger as the fight goes on until it turns into an arena-wide slam. At time of filming, my character had 6k hit points and this still wasn't enough to save me from death. The beam also applies a drowning debuff for a couple of seconds. I'm not sure exactly what this does because I've never been brave enough to stand still and put my mouse over it to see what it does. However, it can't be good, and probably makes you more susceptible to the rest of the attack. You should notice now that around the arena there are 7 stationary orbs in the Maven's colours. The Maven even tries to give us a hint of what to do by saying energise the spheres. We need to energise all 7 spheres by running through them and standing briefly in each one for just under a second. Do this successfully before the slam is inflicted and you will not die. Fail and you will die. You'll know that a sphere is energised because a little glowing star will appear in the centre of it. If it doesn't have a star, stay there a little bit longer. I have noticed that normally it's impossible to get all of these without being hit by his beam. This shouldn't be a major problem because this beam doesn't do an awful amount of damage until it slams. A live flash should be enough to sustain you through the damage it deals. You'll know this phase has ended because the Maven will say, "Be gone," or you'll be dead. One of the two. We've now been through all the mechanics for this fight. If you're doing the Searing Exarch next, then check out the guide in the top right hand corner, which will show you all the mechanics for that fight and how to do it safely. And with that, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time.